Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 685, and I'm currently at Rosnaula, the beach again, for the morning deployment of our small business, the sauna on the trailer, or mobile sauna on the trailer. I came here just about, I'd say, 2-3 hours after the high tide, so was enough space to drive into the beach or onto the beach. And now the tide is going out until about 12 noon, so for another 45 minutes. But today I am about to backdate my updates, because that's what I do in recent weeks. As you can hear, the rain is quite intense, and I don't like it because it makes the sand really wet and a bit dangerous to drive on. Unfortunately, I didn't go too deep and too close to the shore, because the closer you get, obviously the sand is softer and wetter, even when it's dry weather. And that is what today's episode will be about, because yesterday I got into a situation that, well, I called the episode Not-so-quicksand, because it's not quicksand per se, but because of how the sand works and the beach in general. When there's a normal weather, there's not much, water coming from the sky, and it's not rainy. Then once the tide subsides and goes out, the sand dries up, whatever remaining moisture is soaking into the deeper levels of the sand and leveling with whatever the sea level is. So the sand becomes drier and drier and harder to touch, and you can drive onto it. But even when the tide is out and sand should be fairly safe to drive on, if it's raining, that wet layer is causing a bit of hassle, and it becomes slightly tricky to drive on. And that's what happened yesterday. We came in the morning, and I drove much closer than usual to the shore and stayed like that. But the rain was quite prevalent in the morning, and we stayed there until the tide was coming back. And suddenly the clients started pouring in, because the beginning was very quiet. But the literally last 2 hours, so last 1 hour and a half, became so busy, because suddenly we got about, I think, eight or nine people coming in 3 batches. So it started being very busy, and the last batch was at the stage where the sand was really wet and really soft, and the tide was coming back in. So I had difficult time to actually attach the car and position it properly to get the sauna latched. And once I did, I was worried that staying in the same spot might end up pretty bad for us. It's not uncommon for people to forget about tides, because there's a lot of tourists coming in, and obviously I am aware of tide because I live in Donegal and close to the ocean, close to the shore. But most of the people, they don't check, they don't understand tides, they don't care. And when they see a lovely stretch of sand, they will just drive as close to the water as possible, spend some time, and then, for example, they just lock the car and go for a walk. But the tide in the meantime starts coming back in. and suddenly your car is partially in the water, either the wheels or the car itself, even deeper. The problem starts even when the wheels start getting into a, shallow layer of water, because the sand underneath is becoming soft and flushed by the waves a little bit. So, and then some sand is coming back in with the waves. So suddenly your wheels start getting stuck in the sand. And unless there is some strong vehicle at the beach that can pull you off, like a tractor or a big Jeep or something like, Ford Raptor, or, the very strong towing vehicles that can pull it off, then it was usually either, firefighters or police or local farmers that were helping cars to get off the sea. Nowadays it's not that prevalent, because people are proactive and they warn others. Also, lifeguards are very proactive and warn others that are too close to the sea that the tide is coming, so they should reverse the car to the safe spot, or just go onto the road. So it's less of a problem. But me even being aware, you can see that I had to attach the sauna and reverse it a good couple of meters away from the sea or the ocean, to make sure that we can finish the actual session with people safely. And then in the evening we drove in with Julian only, so there was nothing happening during the day except for us just going to check on Old Castle Bar and get some dinner. It wasn't the best, but it was still worth not doing the dinner at home, because we were so tired and exhausted by recent weeks of operating the sauna. So we ate away or ate out, and in the evening Elizabeth stayed home, and Julian and myself, we came to the beach for the evening deploy. We didn't have any booking for evening, so we were expecting that, because Fridays are very quiet, that we will get nothing. And the tide was in very shortly before we arrived, so we couldn't go onto the beach. We drove closer to the hotel, we got some coffee, I fired up sauna so it can heat up and we can go to the beach with the sauna already heated up. And eventually we went to the beach. We parked. I didn't detach the sauna because water was still closed, even though it was going out. And lo and behold, there was a group of people that love sauna, and they came all the way from Dublin and wanted to use it because they were shivering. They spent so much time in the water. So suddenly we had a full house, and it was great. It was 6 people enjoying the sauna and not wanting to get out really until they had to. So lovely finish to the evening. Pretty good day. The best Friday so far. I don't think we had any Friday with such revenue. Friday is usually fairly quiet. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon or evening. Stay tuned and see you again tomorrow.